Yo, what's up, YouTube? Hope all is well with everybody. I appreciate everybody who checks out the videos. About to drop a marital gem. You know, something that I experienced that was amazing in my relationship that I had never experienced before because I had never knew these laws. And once I start learning these laws, my lady at the time, her and I, we practiced those laws. And I'm going to tell you, it was such a spiritual and beautiful experience. So, you know, chew the fruit, spit the seeds. This is especially for those who like practice the Israelite faith or people who are Christians or whatever the case may be, who actually believe in the Bible. You know, the Bible does have beautiful principles that you can keep and so that you can live a healthy and prosperous life before the Creator. So there are some gems that you can practice that will actually be beneficial and fruitful to your life and to your marriage. Now, well, let me get right into it. We're going to go into the book of Leviticus. We're going to go into Leviticus chapter 15. And we're going to do this walk and talk, but let me read a few precepts before we lace up our boots. So this is Leviticus 15. And we're going to start at verse 18. The woman also, with whom man shall lie with seed of copulation, they shall both bathe themselves in water, and be unclean until the evening. So when you are married and you are making love to your partner, once you guys finish, it's a commandment that you guys go bathe because of the blood that comes from the semen and stuff like that. It is an unclean situation after that. And I really never hear too many people talk about this law, or when I was around different Israelite brothers or just Christians in general or just believers, no one really speaks on the this part or the experiences, although, you know, this is intimate and it can be personal, but I know I've shared the beauty of my experiences, and it never failed. Every month it never fails the beauty that comes from the experience of keeping these specific laws. And I'll go into that more as we go outside, but let me finish reading some more precepts. Verse 18 again. The woman also, with whom man shall lie with seed of copulation, they shall both bathe themselves in water, and be unclean until the evening. And if a woman have an issue, and her issue is in her flesh, be blood, she shall be put apart 7 days, and whosoever toucheth her shall be unclean until the evening. Verse 20. And everything that she lie upon in her separation shall be unclean. Everything also that she sit upon shall be unclean. And whatsoever and whosoever touches her bed shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening. And whosoever touches anything that she sit upon shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening. And if there be of her bed or anything upon she sitteth, when he touches it, he shall be unclean until the evening. And if any man lie with her at all, and her flower be upon him, meaning the blood be upon him, he shall be unclean 7 days. And all the bed whereupon he layeth shall be unclean. And if a woman have an issue of her blood many days out of the time of her separation, key point, separation. That's gonna be the important part of the conversation, the discussion. Or if it runs beyond the time of her separation, all the days of the issue of her uncleanness shall be as the days of her separation. She shall be unclean. Let me go to verse 28 now. But if she be cleansed of her issue, then shall she number to herself 7 days, and after that she shall be clean. So that's gonna be the topic, y'all. Chew the fruit, spit the seeds. Let's go. Yeah. So this is an amazing topic to me, because when I started to practice those specific laws, I realized that was a marital hack right there. That was a hack that no pull. That was a hack. Unfortunately, that marriage didn't last, but why it existed, keeping that law was one of the beautiful things that we both had experienced. And it was undeniable. And I was like, oh, that's how people stay healthy in long marriages, by practicing that specific law. So what would happen is, she would let me know in her time of separation, when her flower come, her period would come, no pull. She was like, oh, we got one more day. So since we had one more day, we was excited, we would really make out and enjoy ourselves, have a good time, I'm trying to get it before I got 7 more days of a break, So had a pretty dope love life. And after that experience, let me rewind it. First of all, the discipline when she was not on her separation. After each time we made love, we would have to go take showers and change our sheets and stuff like that. And that was becoming taxing when you have to think about dirty, no pull. That becomes taxing when you have to do those things on a regular basis. What's up, fellas? Chilling. Thank you, brother. So it's like, dang. But we would do what we have to do, and we would laugh and talk to each other, because we're like, everybody be like, between her and I, we're like, dang, is all people who are trying to keep the laws, are they really doing this part? And the reason why it was so important to do this part is because you wanted your prayers answered. You want to be right before your Creator, right before the Most High. So this was something that, this is a discipline that only you and your household would know of. And dirty, no poor. And basically, we knew how disciplined how much it required our discipline. Constantly washing sheets, once or twice a week and stuff like that. And although we had several, sets of sheets, but we were like, dang, is everybody really practicing it this way? And we weren't all in everybody's business, but we were like, hey, this is how I was gonna live, and this is the way my house was gonna be ran. So we did it, And actually, at the end of the day, side Q. And at the end of the day, after you made love and you shower again, because you showered before, then now you made love, then you shower afterwards, and all that type of stuff, you felt good, because you felt good before the Lord. And were we perfect, or we did it every single time? sometimes it will slip, you know what I'm saying, slip our mind or whatever and pass out or whatever. And, you know, you feel a little convicted or whatever, but wanted to be right before the Lord. We were willing to take those extra steps because we wanted to be blessed. You know what I'm saying? No pull. We wanted to be blessed. Sit down. Up. We wanted to be blessed. So out of our fear of the Lord, we wanted to do what the scriptures said. And I'm like that to this day, you know what I'm saying? You know, so that was a discipline, because the difference between trying to keep the laws from a Hebrew Israelite state versus a Christian state, you see, you get to see what a person's made of, because there's certain customs and laws that you have to keep that the Most High has required. You know what I'm saying? Versus a Christian will just say, hey, I'm a Christian. You're like, oh, okay. And you see no works, you see no discipline in their life. You just gotta take them for their word. But that's one thing I enjoyed about being around other brothers and sisters who were keeping the laws, is because you would get to see a person in their true level of discipline, and how they felt about it. I've seen brothers who complain and murmur about fasting. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, how are you complaining when this is a righteous thing before the Lord? Come on. How are you complaining when this is a righteous thing before the Lord? Like, your spirit isn't right. So you will be able to identify, you know what I'm saying, who is real and who is fake based upon their spirit and their attitude towards God's laws. Now, back to knowing that her time of separation was coming, and what? So it's like she'll give me a warning. Oh, I got one more day. I think I got one more day. Da 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 da. She had this app and all that type of stuff, whatever. So I'm like, cool. You know what I'm saying? So we were excited. We would enjoy ourselves, make love, and all that type of stuff. So the time of separation come. We were fortunate to have a big enough house where she had her own room when the time of separation came. And if you guys have that, that's gonna do great for you guys, for your potential wife, or something you could suggest to your husband, because that time apart, that 7 days time apart, for some reason, well, I know the reasons, but it's more than just the biological attribute of being separated from your wife. Like, every time my attraction to her would increase crazy before those 7 days. We didn't touch, as you read the scriptures. We're not allowed to touch. I can't sit on the same bed as her, can't sit on the same chair as her. And we were always conscious of that. If she sat somewhere on the couch first, she's like, oh, I sat here, that's gonna be my spot. I'm like, okay, cool. That's a no cue. Come on. So, hold on 1 second, let me get him right. What was I saying? So basically, Dirty No Pool, why are you so far up? So basically, I lost my train of thought dealing with these dogs, excuse me. So basically, where was I at? And so I was so excited to share this lesson and speak on this, because this could really be a blessing to people who are really seeking to do right before the Lord. So the time of separation come. Oh yeah, if you have enough space, we were fortunate enough to have another room. So she had her own separate room, and fully furnished and all that type of good stuff. And I'll be in the master bedroom chilling and stuff like that. And, you know, we would have dinner and all that type of stuff. But then when it's time to go to sleep, you know, she'd go sleep in that room and she would enjoy herself, had her little candles in there and her books and all that type of stuff. And I would have my time alone. And it was such a blessing because in marriages, you need your space. You need your time alone at times, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I always tell people, like, you have to have something that's bigger than both of you. You have to have something that's bigger than both of you. Good stop. Good sit. You have to have something bigger than both of you. So that, let's go. So that you guys would move in a way where there's a higher level of respect. There's a reverence, you know? And so the laws was above us. The laws were more important. The Most High was more important. How about that? Let me put it that way. The Most High was more important, especially in my mind. And let's put it that way. The laws are more important. The Most High was more important, and doing the right thing. And so basically, so she would have her 7 days. I have my 7 days of just time to myself. And then, you know, on the 6th day, you know, you're like, oh, the 7 days coming up. And after her 7th day, you know what I'm saying? After she's freshening up and she's coming back to the room, like, yeah, it's about to go down. You know what I'm saying? And that was every month. Every month, it was like getting to get with your girl for the first time. And it was such a beautiful experience, you guys. Brothers and sisters who do follow the laws and who do read the Bible and use the Bible as a foundation of way of living, you must practice those laws, especially if you're in a marriage, because that right there will keep you guys excited and desiring one another and stuff like that. And it was just a cool thing because we were both so excited, always excited to be back with each other. And that was that. Another thing is, remember, that's a time of separation. That's a law. So when she's on her period, it's a time of separation. Even if she's only bleeding for 3 or 4 of those 7 days, you still have to be separated for 7 days completely. That's the law. Because I do know that some women don't bleed that long. And remember, even if she bleeds longer than that, you still have to wait until her bleeding is done. And then you all come back together. You know what I'm saying? And those things are, and those laws are really set up to keep the marriage on point. And like I said, actions speak louder than words. You know what I'm saying? You can make your mouth say anything, but the Most High says obedience is better than sacrifice. And he gives you certain principles that you must copy, that you must keep to protect you and to keep you closer to him. Because anybody who sincerely desire to have a relationship with the Most High, it requires discipline. It requires a nutrition discipline, a reading discipline. It requires a whole lot of discipline, you know, to see the fruits, to see the fruits that you would bear. And if you know it requires discipline, and then that person who says, oh, they love God too, then you can expect that they're practicing the same discipline. So if they're not, then you got to be like, okay, well, why aren't you keeping yourself disciplined? Why you behave this way? Why do you struggle with this? Why do you struggle with that? And a lot of times because they're living a faith walk without discipline. What else I wanted to speak on? Oh, yeah. So back to men. Yeah, men. You know, you men and women, you guys want to keep yourself clean. You want to keep yourself clean so that your prayers and your actions and your walk may be on point, where you may get the breakthroughs that you might need in life. The breakthroughs that you need in life are going to come from you being clean. You know what I'm saying? You have to get your flesh in check also in this spiritual walk, because this spiritual walk is not supposed to be, what do you call it, abused. And a lot of people don't practice these type of practices is because they have misinterpreted the purpose of the flesh, the purpose of the body, and they just think it's all designed for you to embrace and just indulge in pleasure. Okay? It's not. This spiritual walk is really for you to learn and to experience, to see how much you can endure and deny the flesh to become more spiritual. Because when you start practicing the denial of the flesh, then you are able to start tapping into other realms and other abilities that the Most High has waiting for you, but you have to come correct. And he lays out precepts so that you can have a guidance or a formula into how to reach your higher potential in your walk before the Lord. So I hope you guys look at the Leviticus again, meditate on it, you know what I'm saying, highlight it. When you get into a marriage, let your wife know this is how it's going to be. Let your husband know this is some scriptures that you would like to consider, because you guys will love the benefits that come from it. And everybody needs a break at times, and that's one of the most healthiest things you can do is have a time of separation with your spouse, decide, and then come back on one accord and to enjoy each other, the pleasure of having each other, and the sanctity, you know what I'm saying, and a beautiful place is when you guys can do that, and you guys are building you guys' spiritual growth up, and then y'all come back together and y'all just grow. So this is a gem I wanted to drop for those potential future marriages, or for those who are in marriages who are wanting to make your marriage a lot more healthier. Consider God's laws. I'll holler at you later on. Peace.